I'm going to present a part of my research where I talk about the ontology of documents and template of documents. My motivation to try to present this is because I'm developing an ontology in the obstetric neonatal domain, and in this ontology, I'm representing data from medical records, and when I started to analyze these records, I saw that we have not just filled records like that with information, but we also needed to represent some information that are from just a template or a model of this document. Then, just to understand the process, why I needed this, every medical encounter, physicians get some measure data, some vital signs or symptoms that the patient describe, everything, and they needed to record these findings in some document. This document usually is defined, previously defined by the institution that this physician are attending. For example, this template. And they needed to put its information in the correct place. In the final, they have a document, complete document. I was looking for how this definition in the Foundry Ontology, and then I saw that they have the healthcare encounter, they have the findings, they have the documenting process, they have the document, but they don't have the template or what they expect to become a document. Okay, what is a template? A template is something that we can create to serve as a model, a partner, to create another thing. Or we can just create an engineering model to create a building. Then we can create some kind of documents like this, just to define a kind of document to be filled. For example, I have here a discharge postpartum template and a antepartum record template. Both are documents and are defined, and they needed to be filled to create the medical record. Because I'm dealing with information entities, I try to figure out more information in information artifact ontology. And I just realized that they just deal with filled document. They don't have this kind of expected to be represented document. Then I saw that they have, for example, the information content entity. Many of you cited this here today, and it was good because you cited some subtypes of information content entities could help me to explain this. But an information content entity is a generic dependent continuum that is about something. For example, they just exist if something exists previously. A photography is about something or someone. My photography is about me. My photography just exists because I'm existing. And we have also a document as a subtype of information content. And a document is a collection of information content entities that intend to be understood together as a whole. For example, using that example for Barry in War and Peace novel, this specific book in this picture is about War and Peace novel. If I just read one sentence in this book, it's not makes sense to understand the novel. I needed to read out the book to understand the novel, because this is all the sentences in this book needed to be together to be considered a document, for example, to be understood as a whole. Then, what is a document template about? And until now, I didn't identify something that a document template is about. I think a document template is about nothing specifically. It's about some information in general. Could be about every information content, maybe. I'm not sure about this. But I saw that a document template is a model to create a new document. When we create a document template, we define a set of labeled parts, blank parts, like here. We have this part that expects to accept a phone number and is labeled to be a phone, for example. And when I come to here and write some information in this template, it becomes a document. By filling the blank space, I'm creating a document. For example, I have this previous document, then I have a template, then I wrote information that I create some document in fact. And filling a document template is a process of documenting some information content in a template. Then I have the contribution of both IAO and the ontology for biomedical investigations. We have the documenting process. The documenting process is considered as a process, a planned process. It's not my focus, but in which a document is created by including specific input in it. I think it's a little weak. We maybe can include that we are the specific input in it that we are inputting the document is some information content and just to be more clear, because the logical definition is like that. And when they said added, it's in fact it's include information in a document. For example, I have a template that if I start to write information in this template, it creates a medical record, for example. But not necessary. I needed to fill every blank space in the same medical encounter. Some information that may be mainly in the obstetric domain. Some information maybe it's just I'm just able to inform in the same document in a next encounter. Then when they said that I'm including information in a document that I previously exist. Okay. Then to support the templates, we need to create a new foundational type in IIO. And Professor Barry Smith helped me with this definition to information structure-oriented in a work, another work that he is working in it. An information structure-oriented is a generically dependent continuant that when we fill some information content entity, we originate a new information content entity. For example, the template. When I fill the template, I'm creating a document. It's basically the idea. Then I propose the creation of the document template entity as a subtype of an information structure entity. When document template is an information structure entity that when we fill it by some information content entity is in a documenting process, we originate a document. An example of this template is the Woman Health Record template. And I also propose the creation of the template filling. I'm not sure if this is the best name, but why I created the template filling as a subtype of documenting. Because the document definition, I can just create some document from, for example, a blank page. And a template is not a blank page. It's a page that has previously is defined as some structure. Then my idea with the template feeling is that is a document process that consists in filling some information contained in a document template, because this I define a new process to document. So finally, I have the diagram to represent everything that I said here. This definition document has a specific input, some information content entity, and the document has a specific output, a document. This is the previous definition from OBI, which means that this process documenting has participant, some information content entity, as inputting in the process, or this information content previously exist. And the document is a specific output that is a participating in this process, but it's created during the process. This is the idea of this. Then, in my case, the template filling, I have the output, the same idea, the document, but I have two inputs in this case. One is the template, and the others are the set of information content entity. It could be everything. Measure data could be, for example, a personal name that is an information content entity. So this is my presentation. Then I.
So, can you go back to slide 7? So I don't like the bottom corner. You say this book is about the novel. I think that this book is an instance of the type, copy of a novel. There are many copies of War and Peace. And what are they all copies of? They're all copies of the novel War and Peace. And what they're about is Napoleon and Napoleon's march to Moscow, and love, and Moscow, and Russia, and love.
Okay, but when we say that, for example, a description is about something, when we write some description, this is about the thing that I described.
Yeah, and Tolstoy was sort of describing Moscow and Napoleon and so forth. And War and Peace, of course. He was describing War and Peace. Yeah. He was not describing his own novel. He was writing the first copy of his own novel in order to bring the novel into being.
Okay.
And can you go to slide 9? So is this documenting from IAO already, or are you proposing to include it?
No, it's already exists.
Okay.
It's in. I use here a kind of.
Okay, so.
Legend. It's in IAO.
Okay. It's all right, I guess.
I think this definition could be improved.
Yeah.
A little bit in.
So then move to your final slide, the one with all the... Okay, now, I think that I agree with most of what you have here, but it seems to me that on the one hand you have a pure information structure entity which would not be about anything. And an example of that would be an empty Word document.
Yeah.
So you just have a white sheet of paper, as it were, a white screen. That would be a pure information structure entity. But the templates you're talking about are, I think, full of information content. it's information content about types rather than about instances. And what you do when you add the data is you add content which turns information about universals, or we turn aboutness relating to universals into a more complicated aboutness, which is about both universals and instances of those universals. So it contains information that Mary has an instance of wooden leg, because you add Mary and wooden leg to the relevant two fields. So I think that this is right, but then the question is, do we need something like a pure information structure entity? And where would we put your templates? Because your templates now would go under information content entity.
Okay.
And that's not, you still then need to distinguish between templates and filled templates, or filled in templates, or completed templates. So that I think there's still some thinking to be done there.
Okay, yeah.
Anybody?
This is a proposal.
You have some?
No, I had exactly the same point. Although I was going to slap you with slide 7 there, I thought that you really set it up.
No. Yeah?
A quick question. Have you looked into, under IAO, there is an entity called data format. Data format.
Yeah.
Is that relevant? Anything relevant to what you're doing?
I saw the data format, but in fact I read every information content entity, and sometimes the description not fit in what I'm thinking.
I think the definition of data format is not yet good enough. I think it's closely related to information structure entity, however, which is not in IAO yet. I've been campaigning to have it included for some time. But
and another point is the quality.
Yeah, information quality entity. So, supposing you have a blank Word file, but it's red. You just have a blank red sheet. Now that's not information content. It's not really information structure.
You're saying a blank Word file is not?
A blank Word file, just with you've switched on red background.
Okay.
Or you've just created red highlighting. I don't know how you create a red Word file. The Word file itself is not red. What you see is red when you open it.